Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. Your real nature must be always here. That's why it is freed from depending on anything, on senses, on emotions, on concepts. It is freed by nature. If you speak of something else differently, it is something else. Then you talk about expression of the self, the creation, the manifestation. The person who perceives the world. So, if this is not clear, please ask, dig your doubt, not to be killed many times by it, not to suffer. Don't try also by reading scriptures to fit what they express. It will just be a fake and pale copy because it will be owned by somebody. Just remove your concepts. That's all what is needed to abide, which one already does, to make it the self reveal itself, let's speak like that. The mind doesn't interfere here, and if so, it is another creation added to the bags we carry. So I find for the one who still thinks about himself, that it is much more efficient and direct to spot the rising mind, knowing it is the mind, rather to try to attain some state which may still appear and be experienced, but know that whatever was not there before appears at some point, is bound to disappear. So it is the nature of unreality. It's not what you are. It's called self-inquiry. If you want me to speak more about something regarding that, please ask me. Yeah.
How not to look at it? It's so difficult. I cannot. It's very rare. I don't look at it.
You mean what by looking at it?
The person.
Yeah, you are hypnotized, but you can wake up. You can wake up if you really are fed up to be hypnotized. I think you will use all your strength not to follow that, even if it is for a split second. You must love it too much to be hypnotized, because you see, it gives you a sense of existence. It's the survival of this rising I. It's a basic survival drive. So at least know what you are doing. You say, I am, what did you say exactly? I am constantly looking at I. You exactly describe the way to be a seeker, or to be bound by something, to feed the seeker. But who told you that you are a seeker in reality? The seeker is not even there when you sleep.
The whole person, not just the seeking, but the whole person.
Yeah, yeah. So it must be not that your original nature. It must be. But the thing is, we are used to experience it, to experience things. So we want also to experience our original nature. And that is absolutely a failure, because the original nature is revealed when exactly I doesn't interfere. So,
As soon as I wake up, it's there.
because you wake up, somebody has to wake up.
Yeah.
Sure. If you take any states, and those three basic states, sleeping, waking up, and dreaming, for real, it's because you take I for real. Otherwise, they will still appear and disappear on its own. But if you don't take I for real, there will be no problem. It's just how things appear. So inquire, who's waking up? Doesn't matter who cares that you wake up. This body has to wake up, of course, because he went to sleep. Otherwise, it will go to mental hospital. It needs sleep. But inquire, who is waking up? And how do I know, first of all, that I slept so well? Where I was? Who knows that? There must be some awareness, the awareness, always there, unseen. It will ever be unseen. But that's what you are. So take at least this negative way. Okay, you cannot see who you are, and you may have still this habit to use your feelings or mind or senses. So at least constantly, or whenever you can, this is not this. This is not it. What I'm experiencing is not it.
But then you have to sit in a cave, because everything.
No, it will not help. It will not help. In the cave, you project all what is in your mind. Here, at least, some things are outside, due to your sight also, but it's don't think it helps. It helps maybe to have other states that the daily life doesn't give you, but they are still states. Then you are still deluded. Or if you don't believe that, go into a cave then. have this experience. I think you will be more obsessed by your obsessions here. There is no better place. Everything is the best place because it depends on your desire to free yourself from this so-called glue. I am somebody born. I'm born. Oh, Shiva!
But when I had this experience of not being that, it was always in meditation.
Then meditate more. Maybe why not? Meditate more. But know that what you are doing. So you change from an hypnotizer to a meditator. No, meditate. Meditate, but then know you are still a meditator, and what you will do with the meditator. But if you feel more focused, more fiery when you meditate, meditate.
You know, I just had these experiences, not being the person in meditation. I don't feel more fiery.
Of course, that self-inquiry requires some dedication. We can call it also meditation if you like, but the self-inquiry inquires even about the meditator. Of course, this path needs some dedication. It's not running after anything because you hear it doesn't matter. In fact, no, the seeker has to dedicate time to the object of his passion. Maybe he's troubling some.
So when you say don't look, you told me once don't look at it.
Do it then.
But when you
Do it. Do it. Where are you?
It's like if you say don't think about a giraffe or something.
And then forget about it. What to do?
Huh?
Forget about the whole thing then. I found that you were in the best meditation. But you see, you don't realize what you realize because you are so used to when a thought appears, like you said now. You jump and then you take this more important than when you were without thoughts. That's what I also say all the time. Don't keep a thought. They will come, they will appear, but don't grab them. At least once. So be aware that what rises, even this kind of reflection, it's the mind, it's a thought. Why should you grasp it? Because the mind will never, ever will make you believe that you are enlightened, or it can make it believe, but then it's the pride who claims that. The original nature cannot be contained in a thought. It cannot be owned by anybody.
So should we look at the space between the thoughts? Because I feel I need to look at something. I can't not look at anything.
You can look, so what do you see? That direction. Yes, that direction.
I speak to you about the problem changes. So I would like to speak more about the last time. I said this girl, but what happened is she went to a guy who was a friend of me a long time, and now I hate him, and in my dreams I'm still fighting and never speak again to him, and it's very difficult.
You bring samsara in satsang.
Sorry?
You bring the samsara in satsang. So stories. Yeah. It's because we are suffering with stories, you see. With stories. With stories. Stories, you know?
Sorry.
Yeah, story. That we come to satsang. So at least we have to make the step to leave them with your shoes.
Do not bring it here.
Yes. And then you see that, oh, I can even exist without a story. Who am I really? It gives you this opportunity, you see, because it's true. The mind is full of stories, hate and love.
Yeah, but it helps to talk about it here.
Yeah, but it helps you that I reply you like this.
Yeah.
You see, the world is a company with others, let it be object or person. Satsang is the company of your own self. So if one wants to be freed from the misery, and there is misery when one believes he's somebody born, he will naturally dedicate some time, and even a split second in that some time is enough to see that whatever is apparent is of an unreal nature. It comes and goes. It goes on changing. How can I be what changes? Only the body, the feelings, this mind belongs to that world of changes. Yeah.
I think that I feel you are given all the answers every time you give answers, and you have shown the way so many times when I also somehow you are leading me somewhere beyond words. And still there is mind confusion that arises. And where does it, why, when does it stop, this? Why
It
do I
stops
go
when
back?
you realize yourself. It stops when this rising mind is no more listened all the time, when he's no more your tyrant. You are tyrannized by the mind, because you still think I'm the owner of the mind. And when the owner somehow is not there, then the appearing mind is just the expression of your own self. It's the self itself also.
So it's over and over not listening to the mind, whatever it says.
Very good. Do things, forget, don't think. And if you think, know what you are doing. I'm thinking. Okay, the person is thinking, I'm not that. that's to have a life of self-inquiry. Otherwise, it is still like a cup of tea among so many things. Mm. But you see, satsang is a reminder because this mind has been leading the life since ever. So, and on top of it, outside world confirms that all what the mind presents is the way to follow. So it needs some time to listen to something else. If you want, whatever word you use, but if you want real peace, real silence, real reality, it's not the way of the world. It is to go back to your source that you never left. Yeah. So don't be surprised that for a while you have to hear again and again.
And still it is not to hate the mind, it's just to notice. It's
Hating is a movement of the mind. Just don't grasp any movement.
Is there a difference between the mind and samsara?
I don't see it. Never forget to put the one you think you are in the samsara. It's and in the mind.
Forget.
To put the one who speaks in the samsara is part of the samsara. Is the root of the samsara.
The one
Who speaks to me, who talks to me, who is thinking.
nothing speaks.
It's like dreaming. You dream, but you know that dreamer is in the dream. It's not somebody else outside of the dream. The dreamer is in the dream.
You can be awake when you dream.
Nothing is excluded, but there is no more confusion.
there is this thought that I cannot follow or not grasp the mind for a while when I'm very focused, like meditation somehow, but it requires a lot of concentration. And there is this thought that it's not possible to have it all day long because I can't have this focus.
Yes,
That
but that's
much.
why you see meditation may has a benefit to bring you to be able to hear that you don't need to meditate. Meditation will not bring you permanency of your real nature. It will be states. Of course, states you may have if you are a good meditator. But it will always, it started and it will end. And then what?
But then what I'm trying to do now, not following the mind, it looks like a practice. And it looks like
It looks like a practice.
sustainable.
Sure, it is a practice to remove other practices, but at least this practice has no object. It brings you, it throws you back where you are. If you don't stop at the thought.
But is it possible if I continue to have it that all the time, to have this vigilance? Is it really possible? Because for me,
No,
it doesn't.
it will be at times, that's what I say. Once is enough. But really the time, the moment you take the risk, okay. Everything, now I give my life for this moment. Now. Otherwise, it will, of course, be in time. It will become a kind of practice in time, but with the benefit that it doesn't, at least it removes concepts. You see, never forget, you are already that. What looks like veiling it? It is this basic belief, I am born. And why? Because we refer to what we learn, to what we sense and experience, this body, these feelings, this mind. We refer to that. Let's be freed from references, then what happens? You always have been that, but it has been unseen. It will always be unseen, but before it was covered by the belief, I repeat, I am born. You always speak of a description of yourself.
So like in a dream, there is no outside world. It's pure imagination that I think there is France and there are things happening there. And so there is no past. And this is really pure imagination.
Yeah. No questions? It's wonderful. There is no questions, but don't put it in a drawer to keep it back when you leave satsang. That question, I mean. Yes.
Yeah, about the illusion. And is the creation and illusion the same thing?
In reality, the creation is the self. But if you speak with your mind, the mind itself is illusion. It comes and goes. It depends on your birth. That's why one speaks of illusion, for the sake of teaching, so that you get less tyrannized by appearances. Because you need a split second to be freed from this tyranny of the appearance.
Yeah, for the sake of teaching. Yeah, the reason I ask is that the other day we spoke about the eternal source, which is somehow emanating in everything what that is, so that
Is the blah blah? Is the real blah blah? It is of no use to try to analyze more than this, you see. Just spot where the mind rises in you, so that you are freed from it. And then after you will speak beautifully, but not before. And beforehand you will just pick up here and there some reasoning, some borrowed knowledge. I'm really not interested with that. It's not a life. Because you come for your own freedom.
yes. Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. You can't describe what it is.
Somehow this stopped me, this illusion and imagination.
And the one who speaks also. Yeah, what?
But I remember
Yeah,
when I was a child,
yeah.
I had this idea that that we would actually sleep like when we sleep in the night and we have a dream. That this life when we have the waking state is the same. It's also a dream.
But longer, it lasts longer.
Yeah, it is. So in this dream, we go to bed and have a dream. And I had this idea that we are all one time, I don't know, wake up and see that this is also only a dream, and that we are somewhere else.
It's very good up to the somewhere else,
Yeah.
because that is too much of a thought. It's not somewhere else. It's what you are. You are left with what you are, if you see that.
But is it a little bit like this? What you say, because when she was asking if it's really pure imagination, is it the waking, what's going on in the waking state and what's going on in the dreaming state? Is it the same imagination
Yes,
exposed
yes.
in the same sense? Not
Because
true?
who has got that? Who has got the dream? Who wakes up? Who goes to sleep? Tell me. What is it? It has a name.
It's I.
I.
Yeah.
I. And what do you mean by I? There is nothing wrong with I, but what do you mean by I? What wakes up? What goes to sleep? What dreams?
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. I don't see anybody who goes to
But
bed.
why you say I wake up? You mean what? You mean this body wakes up and
Yeah.
the mind with it?
Yeah.
You speak of this person you see
Yeah.
or you think of?
I'm sorry. I'm completely. I cannot think anymore.
But that's better. Then drop the question. Then drop the question or the reflection. You see, if you ask what wakes up, if you really see what do you mean, you really mean what I described.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that itself goes also to sleep.
Yeah.
And in the dream, it crosses a lot of steps, but you are always somewhere there, even in different bodies, but doesn't matter. You feel it's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it comes from a root. It looks like it comes from I. If there was no I, where is the waking up and who wakes up? I mean, it's I. And I, you already express it. I'm born, and you mean always this, what I say.
Yeah.
So it's already arising. We always skip that. We always start one step after. I and the events which happens to I. Actually, in self-inquiry, you start to see that it is I which has to be questioned. And who cares about the events which happens to I? I have a sense of I. Of course, I exist and I always mean this. But it's out. It's a thought out. It's a rising. I am. It's already a rising. From where? You are prior to that. Your real nature is prior to that. That's all. Once you see that, you need a split second to that.
Ganga.
Yeah.
I'm tired of my questions.
That's good.
And I really don't know how to express my trouble anymore verbally.
Yeah, don't swallow them. Just throw them. Huh?
But it seems like I said with words everything what I could.
Okay, then keep quiet then.
But still
Still what?
there is trouble.
There is trouble because you consider them. Because maybe you have the idea this mind will be flatly calm forever. No, it will not. The mind is the mind, it's duality. It rises, it falls, it rises, it falls. Till this body dies. So don't confuse yourself for the mind. Why are you interested to look at your troubles, so-called troubles? They may not be such a trouble if you don't listen to them.
It's not a looking, it just happens, and immediately in the next moment I'm...
So be wise. Immediately use your wisdom to say, I'm not going there. That's why satsang is given, to have this strength, to have this spontaneous background. Whenever you feel you are lost, you wake up by yourself. No, I don't go there.
Can I make it during an experience when something happens, feeling, emotion, anything?
Whenever you wake up yourself. But for that you need to love this wisdom.
But they can be so strong.
Don't have this concept. They are not strong. You make them strong by thinking they are strong. It's just habits. Habits we have. No, they are habits only. Habits. I'm not that. Where are you now?
Focusing on what you said about that I make them strong. I like this. I mean...
Yes, it's a liking to survive. But it's misery itself. Don't be foolish. Why should you like troubles? You are not a victim. Your natural nature is there.
Some kind of masochism.
Yeah, drop it. Drop it. You are not only I am born, but I am born and I am a masochist and I am born and you see, you bind yourself to qualities you give to yourself. Drop them. For that you need a strong desire to be free. Sure. Strong desire. It has to be unique. Alone.
Alone?
The desire to be free has to be alone. Not accompanied by dancers or something.
How can you do it when you dream in the night? Because now you can wake up. But when you dream, I'm practiced now a little bit lucid dreaming, but it's about being awake.
It's better try in the waking state, and then we will see if you need to do that in the dream.
The dream will follow.
Yeah. Don't start with the dream state. Start with the waking state.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ganga, I'm sorry to again bring this Christian
Doesn't
concept
matter.
here, but just the way I need to say it. That so Jesus thought this image of God being a heavenly Father, like it's an image, but somehow taught that way.
Yeah.
And when you know, kind of cut my thoughts and that I go to somewhere silent, and I it's the same place that I somehow would call a silent prayer, or like being together with God.
Yeah.
And from that state, I know it's a feeling or it's a concept or whatever, but I somehow understand very well this image of Heavenly Father or Mother or whatever, but this kind of that I feel like I'm somehow held in, in some greater lab.
Yeah, but if you are silent, that doesn't even come.
Yeah.
The moment you are silent, is there any image there?
This is what I'm thinking, or this is the very question, the core of the question, that is this after, is this, something that comes after and the mind puts
Of
and
course.
also grabs because it
Of
was
course.
taught.
Of course. It's the shape you know.
Yeah.
But then it's not yet, it's not, it's no more silence if you follow that. It comes from silence.
Yeah.
But God is silence, it's not the image of it.
Yes. This helps. Thank you. And this is the question from the mind, but I make it that the question of who I am, is it the very same question that who is God?
Same answer.
Ganga, how can you know if you still have other desires? Because sometimes you can think that you don't, and actually maybe you do.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about that. Just keep your desire for freedom and don't care about the rest. Yes. Yes.
This morning I was really fed up. And also to put so much energy in a kind of surviving with myself or something.
So just give it up.
I hope I can do it.
Don't give hope, because then there is a hope you don't do it. Just do it.
I want to do it.
It's too much. Do it.
Maybe the fear is...
No, you go in your mind. Do it. Yeah.
Ganga, I was aware 15 minutes ago.
"15 minutes ago" is unhappily time, and awareness is not time.
Yeah. Yes. And then a lot of things came up. I was aware, and I realized I'm aware of this and this. And then I was aware of there is nothing.
Good.
And then I was aware of the source. And then it came again, something came up, and then it was so strong that it was like a manifestation. And then I just felt depressed. And then I realized, okay, I'm aware of this and I am not this, but now I cannot come out again. I'm aware I'm not this.
Listen. What you are is awareness. Who cares
Yeah.
about all the rest? Why are you depressed then? You are depressed only if you look at changes. The essential is the awareness.
Yeah, but maybe I was disappointed that I'm awareness and hooked on this.
No.
No?
It's because when you are aware, if you are focusing on something,
Yes.
it will go on changing, then you go to frustration. So you cannot say that you are aware, you are just the thing which goes on changing. But if you speak, I am aware, but then what? You are just awareness, yes. And nothing and something will arise and will show up and will change and will fall and will... But I'm aware, I'm awareness itself.
I realized this before, but I'm still hooking in something.
Because your focus is on the off, I'm aware of.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Off is too much. It maintains a link with the creation, with the manifestation. Why should you? You are not fatigued to look all the time at what's going on?
It was interesting.
At least, it was interesting.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
As long as you have an interest, a curiosity,
Yeah.
you will be bound by it. Okay, but now you know it.
Yeah. Thank you.
As long as one is interested or fascinated by experiences, then you are the experiencer, you are not aware.
Excuse me. Yes, I was aware, and then it started. I am aware of this, I'm aware of this, and that.
Yeah, I can be conscious. I'm conscious and sometimes I'm not conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you I? Who am I? The goal is not to be a permanent conscious I.
But I can stop. I'm aware, and not because I continued, I'm aware of this, and that was fun and interesting, and then I was
Caught.
caught, yes, really, yes. So I can stop, I'm aware, and I don't have to be aware of something, really. I can
You
stop,
just
I'm aware.
have to keep quiet with yourself. You already are yourself. You have not to attain it. Just don't be busy with your mind for a while. Just a moment. Just a moment. Forget about all those terminology.
Okay.
Something else.
Be aware of awareness.
How can you?
Ganga.
Yeah.
Even if I don't follow my thoughts, I still feel more localized in this here because I feel sensation.
It's a thought also.
It's a thought.
A feeling is also a thought. I call a thought, let it be a feeling or an idea or a sensation, because it's something which rises. It's a movement. It was not there before and it appeared.
So it's possible not to follow even a physical feeling that make me feel that I'm here. It's possible to kind of
A
forget
split
it.
second, yeah. You don't need time to realize who you are.
It's harder with sensation than thoughts because I see gaps into thoughts. I don't really see
No, but
gaps.
now may be different if you know that it's also the mind. And to feel that in that way, you need an identifier, I, which is I. So at that time, you don't inquire, who am I? It's good to spot. It's excellent to spot. It's much better to spot what's the mind. That's it? Okay, thank you.